Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. SlipjointSawyer here. Today we're going to be taking a look at an old-timer knife. So just grab the box and you can see this is one from their Heritage series. This is the Middleman 334 OTH. Obviously the H stands for Heritage and then OT is old-timer. So a quick overview of the box. See, it's got their new shield there, established 1958. This has D2, I don't know why it says stainless because D2 isn't stainless, but that could just be a mistake on their thing. But it's got D2 steel blades and that is a carbon steel. 2.4 inch clip point blade, 2 inch sheep's foot and a 1.7 inch pen blade, and it's got the generational guarantee. Down the side, built for generations, and there's a nice sort of overview of the knife there. So you can see it is a Stockman pattern. You have a pen instead of the spade blade, which is one of the reasons I went for this. Sheep's foot, clip point, a couple of dimensions, and it's pretty much exactly like that picture. 3.7 inches is a close length, and then you can see there it's 7.25 inches overall and 1.81 ounces if you care for the weight. The weight of a knife has never really bothered me. And the bottom of the box, you got to see made in China, as AOB, American Outdoor Brands, the normal cancer warning, potentially dangerous, read, that's because it's a sharp knife, I guess they have to put that on there. Yeah, pretty standard box. It's sort of a display box for them. Normal sort of old timers come in the little cardboard box, but very nicely presented. The blades did have little plastic tips on the end just to stop them getting damaged in the box. So yeah, decent packaging. Have a look at the knife now. So here it is. This is the Middleman, the 34 OTH from the Heritage series, and you can see right off the bat it has the new hexagonal shield they're putting on. Not quite sure why they've changed this. I did rather like the sort of oval hot dog shield, but even though they've done that, transitions absolutely flawless. Looks like brass pins, or could be sort of like gold sort of or brass plated nickel silver bolsters, not too sure, but overall really well done. See, it's got that nice laminated, I think is it maybe called packer wood, I'm not entirely sure, but it has got that really nice sort of bluey grey tint, and you can see the different levels of it there where it's been sort of hafted off to, you know, to bevel it for your hand. Take a look at the back springs. As you can see, no real major gapping to talk of, tiniest amount here, but as you'll see when I open the blades, it does not affect any sort of walk and talk or play in the blades at all. This is pretty much how it came to me out of the box. So you can see really nicely polished. And on the rear, same story again. Bolsters smooth, pins all smooth. And because it is obviously it's a wooden one and they're not worried about cracking the Delrin this old timer, you can see the middle pin is completely smooth. Their standard ones would have a sort of a raised mushroomed pin just to hold it so they don't crack all the way through. There we go, close up look of the new style shield. Really well done, really well inlaid, nice clean stamp of old timer in there. Let's have a quick look at the blades. So it's a really nice pull on this clip point. I'd say it's a 7.5 to an 8. I have ground this edge because it was a bit sort of steep of an angle for my liking, so I put about an 18 degree on this, and now it is an absolute mean slicer. You see, nice edge on that now. Let's take a look closer look. It's got that really nice clean nail nick, no swedging, nice simple blade. And then you have the old timer tang stamp, and the 0821 I believe is the month and year of manufacture. I could be wrong, so if you know better than me, please do correct me. And the reverse, you see you got there the nice stamped in 34 OTH and D2, so D2 steel on this, really good steel. It is one of my favorites. A lot of people worry about corrosion and things like that, but I live quite close to the sea and I've never had an issue. I'll sort of use them, patina them, and then clean them up, and then once I've cleaned them, I'll pop a little bit of oil on them, and that seems to stop it. But yeah, really nice. Absolutely no blade play at all, no wobble, no half stop, cam tang, and listen to the snap. This is definitely, I'd say, at least an 8 pull. Really nice. And if you listen to the snap on the open, I just push it open there. I mean, you can't ask any more than that. A nice sort of, it's a medium sort of size Stockman. You can choke up on this kick here and you've got no worries of that closing. And even so, it's a really strong spring, so I wouldn't be worried about that at all. And let's take a look at the sheep's foot blade. Just close that, trying to cut myself. There we go. There we go. Quite a lighter pull on the two secondary blades. I would say 5.5 to a 6. But as they, they're the smaller blades, they're not going to get as much use for me. I'm mainly going to go for the clip. Yeah, and here you can see the grind I was on about. It's quite a steep grind. Perfectly fine for a little sheep's foot and the pen blade on here, but I thought for the clip point I'd much prefer a much slicier blade. And you can see this is the side with a little bit of gap in, and there is no wobble at all. It is solid. Nice clean blade. No marks on the front or the rear, so no tang stamps. Really clean nail nick, and even though I mentioned that grind is quite steep, it's really well done. It is really sharp. I could have used the grind on the clip, but I just prefer a different angle, so I just adjusted that myself. And again, no half stops, a nice little snap on the close. Finally, the pen blade, which replaces the spay blade. So I know myself and TK are really pleased with this addition. Nice little change up for a Stockman, as you can see. A little bit heavy on the grind on the tip, but other than that, very uniform all over. No tang stamp on the front or rear, just a nice clean pen blade with a really nice clean nail nick on there. No half stop again, nice little snap, and it's about 5.5 to a 6 pull on this, but with the way you're able to choke up and you're not going to be doing hard use with such a small blade, I would for me, I would pinch about here, so like this, and you can do your little task, or even if you want to cut towards you can put your thumb underneath, and there's no way that's going to close on you. Exactly the same as what I would do for the sheep's foot. I would choke up on it like that, or even if you were worried, you could do the pinch grip like this. Not the most comfortable grip for me, but you do get your fingers out the way of any possible closing. So we did take a look at the blade lengths on the box. I just want to compare them to what they are, as in person. So we'll take a look at the pen blade first, and as you can see, yeah, it is about a 1.7 inch blade in total, but then the cutting edge comes down to about just over 1.25, maybe 1.3, 1.4. Really nice little pen blade there. The sheep's foot blade, that's marked down as a 2-inch sheep's foot, so I'm guessing as from the pen blade that's going to be the full length of the blade. So we'll mark that up there, and yeah, bang on 2 inches with a cutting edge of, we're looking at just over 1.5, like 1.6. Really nice little cutting leg on that blade. And then we'll take finally a look at the clip point cutting edge. The pull on this, I know I've said it, but it's so good for a little tiny Stockman like this. If you can get your hands on an OTH, fantastic. Traditional knife with D2 steel, can't beat it in my opinion. And just line this up here, and you can see you have a 1, 2.5, and it's on there for 2.4. So yeah, give or take. I mean, that 0.1's not going to make a difference. If I sort of bring it down so you can see it here, it is sort of just under the 2.5 mark. And then a cutting edge of, take the choil out, so just over 2, like barely 2.1. But for my everyday, it's perfect for a Stockman. Really nice example. If you're in the UK and you're struggling to find this sort of knife, I did pick this up from Knives and Tools. If I just grab their website now so you can have a look. Where would I find it on here? So here we go. Some contact at the bottom. So it's Instagram, Knives and Tools. You can email them, and they do have a website which is just knivesandtools.co.uk, and they do ship to the UK, very reasonable price. Definitely recommend them out. It's where I'm getting my old timers from. There you go, guys. That's my sort of overview of the 34 OTH from the Heritage series. Let me know what you think about this knife. Would it something you would carry? I mean, it's definitely going to be a carry for me. Really, really do love the wood and this pattern. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful Friday and a great weekend. Make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. Peace out.